What? It's so funny. Oh, Trevor. You good? Hey.
If there was something you can ask me without me getting mad, what would it be?
Meaning like,
Took too long. Next question.
oh man.
You can ask me whatever you want, you get a pass. And I will not take it personal and I will not get mad.
You would not get mad. Okay.
Now you're scaring me.
No. All right, so I've been through a lot of stuff. And I don't even know how to say it without.
Without what?
All right, I feel like. All right, so I feel like there was a point after we had our kid, I thought my kid wasn't mine. Would you be willing to take a paternity test?
Is that what you want?
Hey, what up, party people? Welcome to another episode of Q&A with Bay. I am your host, comedian Ron G, and this is my lovely wife, Manal, a.k.a. Pooty. And this is our first, it's so funny. This is our first episode of Q&A with Bay. We're glad y'all had a chance to stop by and tune into our show. I don't want to call it a podcast. I feel like it's bigger than that because it's also informative, funny, and we do vulnerability here. So this first episode is very personal to me because I definitely wanted to address address trauma in dating, and which is why I wanted to do this particular episode. So, yeah, I feel like if you don't address unresolved trauma in your dating, it can bleed over into your marriage. And this episode is, the visual evidence of it. So, let's get to the test results. Do I have to?
It's like geometry.
What is this? It's a lot of medical terms. All right. It says. Wait, it's like, hold on. Lab ID. Okay. The alleged father cannot be excluded as the biological father of the tested child. Based on the analysis of STR, some medical word listed above, the probability of paternity is 99.99997%. Which means he's mine.
How do you feel?
This is my son yelling out. That's crazy. I know, son. I feel good because I know he's mine. Oh man, the irony. But I'm having a tough time because I literally went through this twice in my life, and both kids wound up not being mine. And I don't know if I've addressed it. Oh man.
He's going through it as well.
Oh man. Yeah, so because I never had closure with either one of them, because one was like a girl I was dating, and like we were officially dating, and then when I found out my kid was in mine, she basically moved away. So I never had resolve, and the other one I knew wasn't mine, but still there was never any resolve. So for me, as a man holding on to that trauma, always made me like have a little bit of like mistrust with people I cared about, and it doesn't feel good. And granted, like I said, I wanted to take this, and not that, I know it's kind of hard to say, like, not that I doubted you, but I wanted to take a test to like, know for sure. Not say I never doubted you as a wife, like not having my back and as my friend. But yeah, this is a very tough space for me. And like I said, I went to therapy about it, but I buried it so far like down. I don't think I ever like really talked about it with
You
anybody.
went to therapy about it?
Yeah, I did.
I didn't even know that part.
Yeah, I did. Because I feel like not having a voice has been a part of my childhood trauma, which goes back to like how I was raised with my family, and then like having this like when dating somebody, and every time we argued, they would threaten me with child support, and then when I find out the kid is not mine, I don't have a say so in it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, kid is not yours, get over it. You know what I'm saying? So I had to sit in silence and deal with this on my own, which I know it's not your fault and it's not your problem. But I do believe that's a reason why a lot of relationships don't work, because people carry on past trauma into the thing that's good to them, you know, and they hold the people from their the person that loves them to the standard of the people who betrayed them, you know. Mm-hmm. So yeah, how do you feel?
Well, obviously, I felt like crap the first time you asked me to do it, because I was like, wait, why are you even questioning it? We're married, we're together, we love each other, this is your child. But at the same time, I had to put my feelings aside and realize it has nothing to do with me. Yeah. That it's trauma that is from your past that's literally like resurrecting itself. So I had to just accept it to make sure that you were good. But obviously, it didn't feel good to know that my husband that I've been faithful to and loyal to forever is asking me to do a DNA test. But at the same time, I mean, I think I probably wouldn't have done it. But at the same time, I was like, if this is what it takes to make you feel comfortable and to make sure that you're good and to make sure that you can reside that issue that you've had within yourself, and because it's from your past, then I was willing to do it.
Thank you. Thank you for doing that, because I know sometimes it's really tough, especially when you question the loyalty of somebody who has been loyal to you. It's one thing if somebody messing up and then they question you, but if somebody's, you know, being good to you and you question them, I know that's a whole other level of like, it's a trigger. You know what I'm saying? Definitely be a trigger for me. You know, right.
It obviously didn't feel good, like I said.
Yeah,
that's like me accusing you of cheating. Like, oh, you coming home late? Where are you at? Why are you at the comedy club 20 minutes later than you should have been home? But it's like, and you know, you're like, what are you talking about? I'm a good person. I'm always home.
Yeah.
You know, I don't do anything. But somebody's telling you or threatening you of something that you know that you're not doing or capable of even doing. But then you still have to take a test to prove yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, that sucks. And again, like this is not a threat in any kind of way.
Yeah.
This is just a tough space for me. Again, like I don't think I ever properly do. I brought it up in therapy, but I don't think I ever got to this part. And
that's why I was like, did you really go through therapy?
No, I went to therapy. We
you need
talked
to get your money
about
back, because you're still going through it.
We definitely talked about it, but I don't think we properly, because I didn't dig deep. Because again, like I had to resolve it on my own, and there was. You know, I'm in my early 20s trying to resolve grown man issues. Because all I know is I graduated college. I got 2 kids on the way. I couldn't find a job because I was betrayed by a family member who I was supposed to stay with them in Atlanta. They never answered the phone. And I'm trying to figure all this stuff out. And in my head, I was like, man, if I got to pay for 2 kids, give the government a third, you know, I went to college for nothing, you know. And then...
You know what it sounds like, right?
What's that?
You sound like a hoe bag right now.
A hoe bag?
You got 2 kids. You're paying child support for 2 different kids on the same year.
But I had to explain, because one girl I actually dated, and the other girl I messed around with when we were off. But the thing is, the girl I messed with when I was off, I never messed with her unprotected. What I found out was she wrangled a bunch of guys around the same time, and I think I was the best of the worst. And I was the best of the worst, and I even talked to one of my frat brothers. He's like, yo, I had to take the test too. And come to find out, you know, she found out who the father of the kid was and never apologized. You know what I'm saying? Like her mom came to my parents' house and like disrupted my peace. Like the day I moved to Atlanta, came to my mom's house. She was yelling at my mom and said, he need to take care of his responsibility. And then
her mom did it?
Her mom came to my parents' house. You know how my mom is. Like my mom was like, I don't know you, woman. Get off my porch. You know what I'm saying? And
it's the South. I would have been like,
yeah.
Back up my property.
But my mom didn't know. And then the lady left my parents' house, disrupted my family, and then got in the car and drove off. And then once they found the results, they never apologized. So I had to sit with that.
Do you feel like you would have been better off if you did get an apology?
At this point, probably no.
No, at that moment.
It's too far. It's too far along now. Like I honestly don't know. I don't know if I'll be a better person, but I always had a chip on my shoulder. Because again, like I feel like you go through phases in life where, you know, that first love is like, I'm too young to know what really love is, and that next love is like, oh, humans are trash. That was the revelation. Like, all people aren't good people. You know what I'm saying? Because I come from a place where, you know, you become friends with people just because of proximity, and you know, Southern people, we just nice to everybody. But then when you find out like, oh, most humans are trash, like this wasn't a good feeling. But I'm grateful that I have you, and I'm grateful like, oh, my son is just crying. It's breaking my heart. He's mine though.
Oh, now it's my son.
Nah, it's
Before
my boy,
it was
man.
like, look at his ears, look at his legs. He's too dark. Is this my child?
Well, he did come out dark. I don't know what that was about. My son was.
Hello, what am I? I am dark.
Baby, you are lighter than me.
That's a lie.
Hold your hand out.
You're lighter than me.
Hold your hand out. Look at that, like a freaking United Way commercial. It's a
No, I told you already. That's because I haven't been outside. I've been cooped up in this house.
You done said that for like 3 years now. Like you look.
Boy, it's only been 1 year. Just got.
People say we look the same because we the
Just
same
true.
complexion.
Yeah, whatever. First of all,
I just got red
I'm
undertones
darker
and you just beige.
No.
All right. I personally want to thank you for even taking the test with me. I know it doesn't feel good, and I'm like just grateful. First of all, for you being a good partner, and that's a lot. That's a lot to even ask somebody to do that, and I know it's definitely out of pocket. But again, like I feel like this is a great example of like addressing past trauma, and even though it's not just your responsibility to do the lifting for me, thank you for being kind enough and compassionate enough to even take the test for me. You know, and granted, I knew he was mine. The cute little baby. He definitely got mine.
You said he was too dark.
When he first came out, he was a little dark, but like he got my up in here. All this
But
is
he's
mine.
so cute like you.
Thank you, baby. He got my nose and my nipples, and but just thank
Lie
you.
detector said, that's false. I'm
Thank
sure
you. Because another example of like another way you show up for me is like with my anxiety and depression.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like when I have that moment, I know dealing with anxiety and depression by yourself is different because I just go hide and get away from people and I'm good. But when you're in my space, I know I have to announce it and say, hey, look, the cloud is coming. Can you help me? But I appreciate you even like taking that walk with me. You know what I'm saying? And I know remember that time we were out and then I told you, you like got soft and start rubbing my leg.
Yeah.
And it like helped me get out of my head. So I'm just like, I appreciate that, girl. Don't play with me. But just thank you. Thank you for
Don't blame me. Yeah.
thank you for being compassionate enough to help me. Because I feel like people don't talk about that. Like everybody got past some previous trauma from something.
True.
But for you to be kind enough while I have my trauma to like give me grace and space to feel free to do that, I appreciate you. And I just want to say that to the camera and let everybody know that I'm grateful. And that's how you know you treat. That's how you know you got a really dope partner too. Like when you go through your stuff, instead of them running, they lean in and ask how can they help or participate in it with you, but not take on the burden. As we call it, throw ropes instead of jumping in the water with you. So you threw a rope in a paternity test, and it came back mine.
And I think honestly, I feel like if you weren't so vulnerable with me and open and honest since day one, if I didn't know why, I wouldn't have been able to deal with it at the present moment.
Yeah.
The fact that you've told me before how hurt you were. You told me before how you had so much trauma and PTSD from, two people that did you wrong that you thought that was that was your baby and it wasn't your baby. That's already hard within itself.
Yeah.
So I feel like because you're open, because you're honest, because you're vulnerable, it allowed me to be like, I understand, and I had to put my feelings aside and say, hey, even though I'm mad that he asked me to do it, it has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
It's your past trauma. I'm married to you. I'm be with you for the rest of my life. And if I just have to take this little stank-ass DNA test, I'll just take this
little stank
stank-ass DNA test.
little puss.
Or
puss.
have my baby take it. But in all reality, I think if I didn't know why, if I didn't know the vulnerability behind it, if I didn't know your story, I think I would have been offended. And I would have been like, you don't trust me. I don't care what you say, you don't trust me. But because you're always open, honest, communicative this whole time, and you've allowed me to get into everything, it allowed me to be able to be there for you. Because if it wasn't for all that, I would have been like, you don't think this is your baby? He looked just like you.
Right,
you know what I mean? But
yeah.
I think it's good for people to understand of like how I was even accepting of it and how I had to put my own personal feelings aside and be like, hey, this has nothing to do with me. This is him time. This is literally therapy for you.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if this didn't happen, even though you knew that it was, well, not knew 100%, even though you thought it was your child, I think you would have still questioned it until you got that reassurance, only because the two prior to him weren't yours. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, it was a scab that would never have healed because the bandage kept get ripped off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
it would have never cured. So
yeah, and I think people don't think about that. You don't count the cost when you date or particularly marry somebody. You take on all their past stuff, whether it be financial debt. If I had a bunch of debt and we got together and we try to buy something, it's your debt. You know what I'm saying? Physical stuff you go through physically. Like if I had an ailment, like all the whatever that comes on with that ailment, whether it's medicine or certain stuff I can't do or diets, like you got to share that burden with me to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? But I think people don't count the cost when they meet people. True. And they think they want this warm and fuzzy and romantic thing. But man, everybody got something that they sitting on right now that's they didn't ask for. True. And we didn't even got to like childhood trauma. Woo. You know what I'm saying? Like childhood trauma stuff that I had to deal with. You always mention it too, like because you're African, like Africans don't hold back.
Oh, I was about to say, what you gonna say about Africans?
No. Like how your family spoke to each other versus how my family spoke to each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Dumbass.
Right.
Get over here.
Right. I remember we first got together. She called me that. I'm like, yo, you can't call me that. Like, she was like, we always say that in my family. I'm like, we don't talk like that. You know what I'm saying?
You're such a dumbass. And he's like, oh, how dare you call me that? I'm like, ooh.
They calling me dumb? Like, wait, what?
I just said dumbass. It's like, saying, hey, Ronnie.
Yeah. Right. That's not the same. But yeah. Yeah. But I remember, like, that's how your family talked to each other versus how my family, pretty reckless too, but I don't think we ever called somebody dumb because they made a mistake or something.
I think, or maybe because I translated English, I don't know. I grew up in an Eritrean household, and like the stuff that our parents said to us or how they talked to us, I just, as a grown up now, I just like, oh, maybe when they called me a dumbass, they meant, come here, sweetheart,
It meant love?
Because they said it so much.
That sounds so
that
toxic.
I was like, their love language might have been bad, but it was good.
So you thought your nickname was dumbass?
Yeah, but it was like in Tigrinya and yeah.
You thought your nickname was? That's funny.
I didn't think it was my nickname, but I'm just saying like it was very harsh. Like let's say like you're walking and you trip and almost fall. Like I see my American friends and their parents are like, "Oh my God, sweetheart, are you okay?" My parents would be like, "Watch where you're going, dumbass! Didn't you see that right there? How'd you fall?"
What kind of stupid? How do you say it?
What kind of stupid idiot are you, dumbass?
That's so dumb.
But that's their love language, it's cursing you out, but it just means they love you.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's do you feel like it's a heavy burden to like walk with a partner? Like when did you even decide like, hey, I choose to deal with all this stuff? Like did you find it out after marriage or while we were dating?
What all that stuff? What's that?
I mean like the stuff that came along with me. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I'm not from my schedule, my work schedule, my work hours, the stuff that come along with like the attention that I get doing what I do. And then the other side of like, you see my highs and lows. Like most people say they want to be with an entertainer, but the highs and lows that come along with it, everybody ain't built for this. I would say like,
lows.
You think you want to be with an entertainer? Man, the highs and lows is crazy. But like, when did you like know?
There should, being married to an entertainer should come with free therapy for the wife as well. Or whoever the partner is. Because we got to go through a lot. But, to answer your question, are you done asking the question?
I never got finished, but it's okay.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying like, when did you say like, okay, this is bearable?
I don't think I ever said this is bearable, but I was just like, I had a preview of what was to come. Mm-hmm. And obviously I don't know exactly what would happen in the future, but I was just like, if this is what it is, it's something that, well, also let me rewind. I kind of like different stuff happening all the time. I'm not a fan of huge routines all the time. So every single time your life is different, which makes our life different. Because also with the highs and lows comes with traveling and going to different parts of the world. And,
it's never boring.
It's always fun. So to me, I was just like, if I have to deal with the highs and the lows are not as much as the highs, and, I was like, okay. Yeah. This is going to be a fun life because to put it in different words, there's way more positive than there was negative times. Yeah. And I felt like I could deal with all those little lows here and there because, A, I'm the oldest of 4 kids. So I was just like, man, I've dealt with so much that I'm just like, it is what it is. I'm not going to lie, though. I never expected to take a DNA test with my child. Right. Ever. But, like I said, because of the vulnerability, the transparency and the honesty that you've always portrayed and showed me and told me, it allowed me to be like, let me just put let me put this away. Let me put my feelings aside, my ego aside, and allow this person to have that confidence to know that that's his baby because it's a thorn for him,
Yeah, absolutely. So that was definitely a thorn for me. And again, like I said, I went to therapy and I feel like a lot of it just came back to like.
Get your money back. Because you still need some more of it.
Is that spillage or was that?
That's from here.
You sure?
But just because I feel like if you went to therapy for that, maybe you probably.
It wasn't
touch
specifically
bases.
for that.
Oh,
I had other trauma.
Okay.
But that was one of the things that was mentioned in the, oh, this is why you process life like this kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's good you went to therapy, but you need more. I need some too.
You sure?
I need some
Because
therapy.
apparently you got all the answers.
I don't have all the answers.
You sure?
Heck no. I already told you I need therapy because I have to realize why it is so hard for me to say no.
Ain't sorry.
Oh no! Time
Listen,
out.
hold on. You got.
I say sorry.
I'm about to give you your flowers.
Okay.
You've gotten so much better.
Thank you.
Where something go bad, you actually apologize out loud with your mouth and say, "Hey, look, I'm sorry." Not, "I'm sorry you feel like that." So I think that's dope, and that's growth too. What? How we get to that anyway?
Thank you. I don't know, but I appreciate you saying that I've grown to apologize and say I am sorry, and to say I'm sorry. It's not your fault, but I'm sorry. It's my fault.
You have absolutely.
I've come a long way.
And I'm
because before I used to be like, I'm sorry you feel this way.
You
know,
did, or
like,
you'd
I'm
be
sorry.
like, no, you
I
tripping.
messed up. It's my fault.
Yeah. That's really dope though, which is cool.
Yeah.
And I feel very blessed to have a woman who would take a paternity test with me after we're married and ride with me while I go through my cloud.
You know what it is?
What is it?
Great marriage for life.
Great marriage for life. Dope. Super random though. Do you think if you're not married, is it okay to ask your person for a paternity test? Like, is that out of pocket? Particularly if you're not married. If you're married, I feel like you shouldn't have to. If you're married and like this is what y'all do, I feel like that's cool. But like if you take if you put somebody on child support and if y'all not married, do you think that child support, like taking a paternity test, should be mandatory?
Are you asking me that or?
No, I'm asking that to the audience.
Okay.
Because when you're married, absolutely. I mean, I guess the assumption is, hey, we made this child together, but if
it's ours.
we're two dark-skinned people and that baby come out Asian, you might have a few questions to ask.
But I mean, in your ancestry down the line, you might have had some Asian persuasion in there.
I had some Panda Express Tuesday, but I don't think it was.
What?
Some Gentile chicken, but I don't think this baby eyes should be looking like that. I don't think that's what.
So, is your question to them? Is it mandatory to get a DNA test if you have a baby when you're not married? Is that your question?
I say if you're gonna put somebody on child support, that should be mandatory. But again, if you're not married,
wait. When you do child support, don't they do a DNA test anyway, or no?
I don't think so. I don't think it's mandatory, but I feel like that should be the case. Because yeah, I'm 0 for 2. It's bad. My ratio is trash.
Not anymore.
Oh no. So I'm like,
Not
was
anymore.
it 1 for 3?
You're welcome.
1 for 3.
You're welcome. Hello.
And you definitely did that. You made a beautiful little boy.
Look just like you. This is one of the ones where we're like, see, I told you he looks just like you.
Right. Yeah. But I'm grateful, man. And again, I think that's one of those things you have to consider when you're choosing a partner, man. Finding somebody who's willing to go through the storm with you, because everybody trying to figure it out and nobody has the answer, especially us. Because every day we learning a different thing. And
that is your baby.
That's my baby.
He looks just like
You my baby.
my baby too.
Appreciate it.
Although you made me take a DNA test.
I know, right? Listen, man, we appreciate y'all joining us. This is our first episode, man. If you like this episode, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And we appreciate you so much, man. If you have any comments, put your comments in the comment section. So we will definitely get back to you and talk about it.
Yeah, and answer Ron's question. If you think it should be mandatory to take a DNA test if you have a child and you're not married, right?
Yes.
So your question was? There you go.
Dope.
Okay. So go ahead.
No, you good. Were you gonna say? I didn't want to cut you off.
No.
I don't
That's
even
all I
know
was
why
gonna
that
say.
went off. That is crazy. Anyway, thank y'all for joining us. Thank y'all for joining us for another episode of Q&A with Babe, man. We appreciate y'all so much. Again, like, share, and subscribe. And we got a lot more great content coming out. And as always, real love is for grown folks.
Love you too.
You're supposed to say it real. Thank y'all.
Real love is for everybody.